Oh man, and it is so warm today. What is this? Is this a heat wave that we're experiencing? Because it's hot. Whatever, it's better than cold weather, and that's what I'm saying. I'm sticking to it. Still loving my coffee though. Alright, so hopefully everyone had an awesome weekend! I mean, the weather was nice, so, you know, no excuses. Did you get out and do some things? Is this how I start this thing every time? I don't know, it's irrelevant, it's hot, I gotta get out of here, so let's go! Today I am talking about the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, the Storm Area 51 because they can't stop us all phenomenon that has been taking over our news feeds. And speaking of aliens, I talk about my rediscovery of the classic movie Coneheads. You know, because it was a fun movie and I couldn't believe how many people were actually in it. So strap in because we're off to space, baby. I'm Dan and you're watching the Finding Lost vlogs. Oh yeah! Watch it. Seriously, so hot in here. Alright, so diving right in, of course, July 16th, 1969 was the date that the Apollo 11 moon mission launched into space. We did that thing. Or did we? I don't know. I mean, it is kind of interesting that we haven't been to the moon since. Of course, there's a whole bunch of conspiracy if we ever actually landed, right? I mean, it is like the king of all conspiracy theories when you really think about it. There's just so much evidence that kind of backs up that it could be a spoof. I mean, handing out moon rocks to other countries that turned out to be petrified wood. We really have not been to the moon since. Other countries' missions to the moon failing. It's just kind of crazy. So, you know, did we go? Did we not go? Who the heck knows? I mean, I'd really like to believe that we went. And that's kind of like where I lean towards is that, hey, yeah, we went to the moon. But the truth is I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't and it was all just a ruse. It was just a lie to bankrupt the Soviet Union. I mean, that's possible, right? I mean, we hear all the time it's just so expensive. Well, it seems like in 50 years, you know, if as the rumor goes that, you know, we have more power in our cell phone nowadays than we ever did at the Apollo 11 launch, why haven't we been back to the moon? I mean, is it really taking private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin to want to get up there and actually figure some things out? It's all just so interesting. But they are doing some pretty cool things so you can check out the launch, the past launch. I know they have the augmented reality JFK moonshot simulation thingy. You can download it now. It actually looks kind of cool. Also in Washington, D.C. on the Washington Monument, they're going to be projecting the launch with full sound and everything. They're going to have several shows over the next few days and I think bleeding into the weekend. So you can re-experience the launch somewhere it never launched from. So yeah, you know, kind of cool stuff. I mean, I know I dig the moon. Give you a moon. Moon 'em all. Space stuff. Of course, if you're watching this video, make sure you're giving it a like and, you know, go to the page, give it a like, follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. It's like my alien speak. We're gonna go with that. Yeah. So speaking of rockets, the latest podcast with Eric McCrone is officially up. And boy, is it out of this world. It is a good one. I'm sorry that there was a delay on that. Had some technical difficulties. As well as when I got to my site to actually post and upload, I realized something was screwy with the last podcast that I was supposed to post. Of course, I'm talking about episode 14 with Brett Beauclair. There's no video for this one, so there was nothing launched on YouTube. Just the audio that I realized never posted. Something about where I had it marked in the category and I did have it scheduled, so whatever. It's out now, podcast 14 with Brett Beauclair and podcast 15 with Eric McCrone. Make sure you're tuning in. Of course, you can find both those on iTunes. Make sure if you're listening there, give us a little rating. Let us know that you love us. And if you like seeing our pretty faces, make sure you're going to the YouTubes. So moving on in all this alien talk, how about this? Storm Area 51, they can't stop us all. Pretty crazy, I'm hearing reports of massive amounts of numbers. It started off at around 400, then I heard 850, and now I'm hearing over 1 million people saying that they're gonna show up. Of course, if you've ever tried hosting an event on Facebook before, you know that that means we probably only got like 100 people gonna actually show, right? Of course, either way, I'm loving the memes. We get plenty of those. So many coming through the news feed. It's just basically taking us over. Which makes me wonder if this is happening in September, what are they distracting us from now? Probably something. Probably, I heard something about pedos. I don't know. It's not like, you know, taking over my news feed. It's just all Area 51 and the aliens and the guards and whatever. I do find it hilarious that the celebs that are saying that they're joining in. I seen one, I think, with Betty White, Keanu Reeves, Chuck Norris, The Rock. I think I even seen one with Neil Patrick Harris. Now, I don't even know if any of these are real. They probably aren't. There's probably just photos and someone made the little, Snapchat bar thing that makes it look like it's theirs. I'm curious to find out, and I think it could be cool if it actually happened. I mean, the truth is either way, we're gonna win with the memes. We're gonna get memes if they don't go. We're gonna get memes if they do go and find aliens. And we're gonna get memes if they do go and get shot. I mean, all the memes are just... they're gonna be there. I do find it a little interesting. I was just watching the Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar. He's basically like an Area 51 whistleblower that talked about some of the alien technology as he worked on some of the propulsion stuff, engineering, reverse engineering, actually seen some of these alien craft. Cool, interesting, trippy stuff. But of course, he worked at S4, not Area 51. And that's a few miles down the road the other way. So, interesting little tidbit too, Bob Lazar actually has a documentary out on Netflix right now. I think it's called Area 51 and UFOs or Flying Saucers or something. Yeah, that's what it's called. It was pretty interesting after doing a little bit of research. I thought it was kind of cool to find out that Bob Lazar is actually from Michigan? Like he lives in Lansing. Like United Nuclear, the place that he works is in Lanesburg. I find it crazy that this is like literally just down the road from me. So yeah, interesting things. What do you think? Are you gonna go? Or are you just gonna sit back and watch from the sidelines and see what happens? I was thinking it's kind of funny that we're seeing all these storm the Area 51. It's like, the government's gonna see this. Do you not think that like in 3 months they're gonna be well prepared if 1 million people are gonna be showing up? They got prep time now. Not really a secret if you're broadcasting it. To which I did notice there was finally a response, which they said, quote, Area 51 is an open training range for the U.S. Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come into the area where we trained American armed forces. The U.S. Air Force always stands ready to protect America and its assets. I am curious to see what would happen if we had, 1 million people storming Area 51. What would the repercussions be? And if you are paying attention to what Bob Lazar said, he said the stuff's not even there anyway. It's at S4. So maybe you should storm S4, guys. Get with the program. Other happenings! So going through all this alien stuff and thinking, I'm like, man, remember that movie that came out a while ago? Dan Aykroyd? I mean, Dan Aykroyd has always been like a UFO activist / conspiracy nut. And you may remember some of his skits on the old Saturday Night Live episodes. Of course, I'm talking about 1993's Coneheads, which is now available on Amazon Prime. I was just talking about this movie, it feels like several weeks ago. And then the other night, I'm like skimming through, like looking for something to watch to go to bed. And I'm like, boo, there it is. Hey, I was just talking about this movie. I'm gonna watch it. Boy, did I forget how great this movie was. Or maybe I was just too young at the time to understand how smart it really was. Either way, the rediscovery did make me feel quite nostalgic, and I couldn't believe how many great actors are in this movie. I mean, seriously, let me go through the list a little bit here. I mean, of course, we got Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, but then we got Michael Richards and Eddie Griffin and Sinbad and Phil Hartman and Adam Sandler, and of course, David Spade, Michael McKean, Drew Carey, Jason Alexander, Chris Farley, Kevin Nealon, Ellen DeGeneres, Dave Thomas, Tim Meadows, Tom Arnold, John Lovitz, Leonard Nimoy, and William Shatner. I mean, the list just keeps on going. There's actually more. It's just... wow! And I loved how the satire just still kind of works today. Like, so many moments made me actually feel that this movie is quite timeless in the way that it holds up. I mean, to think that it was made about 25 years ago and still holding water, I mean, that's pretty good, right? So yeah, I mean, that's really all I gotta say about it is if you haven't checked out Coneheads, if you've never seen this movie, it's available now on Prime, so give it a look-see, let me know what you think, because I think it's worth your time. Final thoughts! So trying to keep this quick, my final thoughts today are, hey, you know what? Human better. Respect other people's time! Tell you what, I've had a few occasions where I've been trying to sell some of my items and people have been wanting to meet up and then they blow me off. And it's not even just in that realm, it's just the realm of humaning anyway. Like just the basics, man, it's communication, it's a little bit of back and forth. When someone's being nice to you, you be nice back. They seem like basic ideas and things. Really don't know why it's so difficult for some people. I thought it was quite interesting the other day that I threw up this post and I can't believe how many shares it's got. Literally has more shares than likes, so apparently it speaks truth to a lot of people. Obviously people just need to hear it. Now what was that post? What did that post say? It basically said that some talk to you in their free time, and some free their time to talk to you. Learn the difference! Small statement, big implications. Because when people are making time for you, you should learn to respect that. I mean, it's just communication. I mean, we have these devices, there's all these different messaging platforms. Just communicate. It's super simple, but apparently it's not. It's just so hard. Psh. whatever. It seems like it's only hard for the people you want to make it hard for. When really you could just, talk and, let people know what you're thinking. Oh, hey man, plans changed. Yeah, that happens. Thanks for letting me know. Instead of wasting my time, I'm not here to waste your time, so don't waste mine. Speaking of which, I got a bunch of DVDs and stuff still for sale. Check out My Life for Sale. Just type in hashtag My Life for Sale. Apparently that's my hashtag. No one else posts on that kind of thing, so check out my stuff. Buy my stuff. DVDs. Deal and go and make me offers. Let's do it. So hopefully everyone has a kick-ass week. I'm Dan. You've been watching the Finding Lost vlogs. Number 65. 65, and I might change up this format. I don't know, these just really take me a while to cut, and I gotta get stuff moving along. 65. Peace, guys. I'm out of here.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looked like a purple people eater to me.